Hey guys, it's me, it's Michael B. Welcome to another Monday night with the Game Genie. Hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. On tonight's episode, we're going to talk all about Arcade1Up and are there too many games on the cabinet? I know that sounds like a stupid thing. We want more bang for our buck. Of course, there's not too many games on a cabinet, but if there are too many games, what are some of the risks of that? And as we add more games, what problems happen with the cabinet that you're buying? On top of that, we got so much more news from the past week to talk about. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, some stupid stuff, and we're going to talk about it here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Chill and Chat with Michael B. I got a funny comment here from Mystery Encoder. I don't like this title. It's okay to admit you have no content. Oh, Mystery Encoder. Wait till you see where I'm going with it. That's all I'll say. Give me a minute here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me once again. We have so much to talk about tonight. I want to say hello to a couple people in the chat. Mystery Hunter, I just saw. Mystery Encoder, I just saw. Dave M. Donuts, T-Slayer, Cage848, Crumb, Wayne Rice, Nooner, Sterling Hall, Goofyfoot, Danzy, Dragon Gamer, Bobby Timpson, Brady Goat, Cage, Charlie Chuck, of course, Ashley Bradley. Who else we got here? Andy1Up. See if I miss anybody. 19K Fox, my good man. We're going to be talking about 19K Fox a little later on. Steve V's, Man Cave Arcade. I know he's not going to be able to join us live, but he's going to catch the replay. And Wrights Retrocade wrote in earlier and told me that in my original title, I said, can a Arcade1Up? And he corrected me and said, can an Arcade1Up? I will admit I am terrible at language, English language, and knowing what the right terms are. So I've got to work on that. I changed the title thanks to his suggestion. So thank you very, very much, guys. Anyways, you guys know how we always do this. I hope to have fun with this discussion. I will tell you, though, the opening conversation we're going to have here, some people are going to be pretty upset with me. My good buddy P-Dubs does a show every week called Multi-Cade Mondays, and he always makes fun of me and says, I'm the Arcade1Up show. But the funny thing is, Arcade1Ups are multi-cades themselves, except for T2, which we'll get into. But by definition, any arcade with more than one game is technically a multi-cade. So every Arcade1Up, again, except for T2 that's come out, is a multi-cade. And now it's perfect timing because just today, let me pop this up on screen. I'll show you the first of my new screens here now in a second, if I can get into it. So yeah, look at this. I'm an adult now. I have new screens that work. So for people that are living under a rock, notifications went up today that the new Legacy machines that were announced back at CES, so Centipede, Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary, and I'm sorry guys, I've also got a cold, so I've been battling to try to get over this in time to do the show tonight. But Atari Legacy, Mortal Kombat, and the Pac-Mania Cap are all going up for pre-order this Thursday. So actually this was perfect timing because I had already done my thumb and done my main topic for the show before that came out, so that ties in nicely. 1 second, guys. I gotta grab a cup of coffee here because I'm dying. I honestly, I wrote all my friends over the weekend and I was like, if I don't make it, guys, it's been a pleasure getting to know some of you. So the Atari Legacy cabinet is going up for pre-order, coming out this week, and I'm not super happy about the Atari Legacy cabinet. You guys know I have the Tempest cabinet, and going into the order, I kicked up massive stink about how it's Tempest, but yet the screen is going to be a horizontal screen, and how stupid that was. And I talked to John D about it. John D's been on interviews, and he's explained it's the rule of 80-20. So if you look at it, Atari has Tempest, Centipede, and Millipede. I mean, only 3 of the 12 games on the cabinet are vertical screen games. I think maybe I'm missing one, but everything else is horizontal. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to make a vertical screen when you're going to have 9 horizontal games. And honestly, horizontal games on the vertical screen are terrible because they're only 13 inches. So that's the problem with this. We got a machine coming out that is a vertical screen marquee game with a horizontal screen. Now, I've said this a bunch of times, so I'm not going to fixate on that. With Tempest, it's actually not so bad, because if you go look at an original Tempest machine, even though it's a vertical screen, like the actual monitor is this giant piece of glass over a square shape. So honestly, it doesn't really matter that it's a horizontal screen with that. But unfortunately, Centipede and Millipede, for some reason on that cabinet, were friggin' stretched. I don't know why, but they took the picture and instead of leaving it squat in the correct aspect ratio, they actually stretched the picture, which looks stupid. So here we are going into Centipede, and I'm a little concerned about it again, because here we are with probably what is Arcade1Up's nicest recreation of an original cabinet to date. Even look at this with it's not really a waterfall panel, but the panel spills over here. You've got the coin doors, the accurate art on the side, the great excuse me guys, that's really terrible, I know, but you've got the great looking bezel, everything, and even look at the control panel. Oh, I pray this is a real thing. I don't know if I can bring it up here, but they've even got volcano buttons for player 1 and 2. Like, I mean, how friggin' cool is that? I mean, easily, this is probably one of the nicest cabinets Arcade1Up have ever made, and I would buy this immediately. This would be a day one purchase for me if it was just Centipede. But the fact it's another 12-in-1, I'm not interested, because here's where we get into it. This has 14 games, and like we talked about the screen issue earlier, only 3 of those games are in fact vertical. They had to go with a horizontal screen. So as you add more games to a cabinet, you have to add more concessions to the cabinet. So what we're looking at here, again, let me figure out which screen I'm on. What we're looking at here is, so directly with the screen, bring it up, you're looking at the horizontal screen where it should be vertical. Now, some people are going to say, it doesn't matter, I don't really care about the screen. Well, that's not the only issue. So we bring up the control deck here, which is what I want you to look at. And this is a problem on my Tempest cabinet as well. I can't stand it. When you get into... sorry, guys, again. Maybe I should have canceled the show. I'm sorry, but I can't help myself. The show must go on even if I'm sick. So here's where it gets interesting again. The more games you put on a cabinet, Centipede has a very normal button layout, but you have to add additional buttons to accommodate the other games on the cabinet. So the control panel looks a little weird. And where it gets even more complicated is, excuse me, you have to fit the spinner in for the games that require the spinner. And this is what I hate about my Tempest cabinet, and I'm going to hate about this cabinet as well. The spinner is directly above the buttons that you need for missile command. Missile command, right? Anyways, the buttons, no, missile command's on that side. So these buttons are for asteroids. So the spinner is directly above these buttons. And when I'm playing, as I'm spinning, my wrist is sitting on the buttons, and it just drives me absolutely friggin' nuts. So here's the thing. The more games you add, the more concessions you have to make. Like the screen orientation, I have it horizontal instead of vertical. And also with the control pad. We're going to come back to this some more. Anyways, I just want to catch up with the chat a little bit. Again, sorry guys. Oh my god, I'm coughing and choking all over the place. 1 second. Mystery Encoder brings up a really good point here. I'm the same way. I'm like a weird dude. I don't buy Arcade1Up to have a multi-cade. Like, there's no value to me how many games are on the cabinet. I've talked about it a couple times in reviews and stuff, mainly because it's an issue for other people. I mainly buy these for the games, like the marquee game on the cabinet, and not everybody feels the same way, and I get it. But I'm not saying that these cabinets can't have multiple games. I'm just saying maybe the cabinets need to have multiple games that make sense. Geez, Mike, drink tea. Coffee is the worst thing you can drink when you're sick. I know, Ronsky. I'm sorry. Paul 80 says, I'm okay with less games. Honestly, if it means even more accurate cabinet, I'm down. 100%, brother. So for me, I'm looking at this Centipede cabinet that's coming out. Let me bring myself back up again. So I'm looking at this Centipede cabinet that's coming out. And I would 100% be down, even though I have the Tempest Legacy already, and there's a repetition of games. If this had a vertical screen And only 2 games. If this was just Millipede and Centipede, I'd be like, yeah, here's my money. This cabinet's beautiful. It's a very accurate deluxe recreation of the original cabinet. And it works so friggin' well. And the control schematic is perfect. Here's my money. Take it. That's the thing I like about Arcade1Ups. The Arcade1Ups they did right. And not everybody might agree with me, but Tron has the exact same control scheme, screen orientation. There's nothing they can do about that, but has the exact same control schematic. Everything can be put in one part without it being too weird, so you really enjoy the experience. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I play both those games interchangeably because it just makes sense. They have the exact same button layouts. They're the exact same cabinets, just with a changed game. So it makes sense to have multiple games on a cabinet. Fighting games, the Street Fighter games, of course. Big Blue's an excellent version, or even the Capcom Legacy, because the more Street Fighter games, basically any Capcom fighting game, it has the exact same control deck and screen orientation, so you could pack loads of games on those. Those cabinets, awesome. But when you're trying to ham-fist put more games on a cabinet just to appease audiences because you think they want more games, that's when you run into problems like this. And I'm trying to think of some other ones that would be a really good example. Just give me a second here, guys. You put you back on the screen. Try not to die. Try not to choke to death. My God. Did I close the chat? That seems like something I would do. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. Let me pop this out again. Oh, I can't buy. Tony C says, oh, wait a minute, guys. Hold on here now. Of course, it wouldn't be a Michael B show without a massive mistake. Of course. Let's see if I can see Tony C's comment again now. Buy Centipede Legacy, then stick a 60-in-1 with a new control panel. All games turned off except Centipede and Millipede. Yeah, like there's millions of ways to do it. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I will never buy an Arcade1Up cabinet brand new to mod it so it just does something I want, with one exception. And that's Smash TV. I'll probably mod that to Robotron as long as the cabinet shape is the same. So anyways, that's it. The other one I wanted to bring up, let me just get it going here. Clear off his comment. So I got to go back. Just announce. So guys, the other one is, of course, the Midway Legacy. I'm super excited about this. This is a day one buy for me. Absolutely happening. I'm getting the Midway Legacy Mortal Kombat cabinet. Depending on price, which we're going to come back to as well, because something happened today. Justin Console Kits put a video out, and it's got me a little concerned about what the price point is. But we've got the Midway Legacy arcade machine coming out. But here's the thing. I'm all in on this for Mortal Kombat. I'm okay with Tapper on this, because Tapper makes sense. You can play Tapper with the 2 control panels. And even what's the name of the game? The awesome game, Tubin, because the buttons still work. Even though it is a vertical game on a horizontal screen, I can still play Tubin on this. Where this falls apart for me, of course, is Rampage. Rampage is a little weird because it's a 3-player game. You're playing a 2-player. Still playable, and I don't really want Rampage. But a game I do want, and do want desperately, is Defender. And even though this is better than playing Defender on a Rampage cabinet, it's still not right. And you know what the messed up thing is? Even when they did a cabinet designed specifically with Defender art on it, saying it was the 40th anniversary Defender cabinet, they still had to change the control panel to match this control panel for Mortal Kombat, to make sure the Mortal Kombat games worked, so you still didn't get the official Defender control panel. I don't know what you can do. Obviously, they made that countercade earlier this year, which was the Defender countercade, had the accurate control panel. Everybody loved it. I think that there's a market out there, Arcade1Up, if you're listening, that, yes, you're going to get legacy cabinets that people want to buy that has 70 billion games on it. But don't forget, there's some games on these cabinets that people would still like to buy separately in a more deluxe version. Like for me, I'm waiting for you guys to release that Centipede, except done right. I'm waiting for you guys to release a Defender, but done right. I don't want to have to buy different versions of Legacies to have the right art, all that stuff. So hopefully, you know what? These are fine for the people that want bunches of games on their cabinet, want more of a multi-cade experience, don't mind having like somewhat messed up controls. But I think there's still a market for the people that want these to be arcade accurate as possible. Anyways, I won't harp on it too much. I'm just saying, if Arcade1Up is looking at this the right way and doing this, and they want to sell nostalgia, they want to provide that arcade experience, maybe stop with the quantity ads for this stuff and only add games to the cabinets that make sense, that fit the button layout for the original game. Try to make them as accurate as possible. I know I'm just an old man blowing at the clouds. Not everybody agrees with me. More people say more bang for our buck. But anyways, that's... Oh, wow, guys. I'm actually having a lot more drainage issues than I thought. I'm so sorry. But anyways, that's my rant on that one tonight. You know what? Take some meds, Michael B. I need to be brought out back and shot, man. Like, this is brutal. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, guys, that's just my take on it. I know not everybody agrees with me. You look at it and you're like, no, I want more bang for my buck. I want more games. I don't care. I don't care how many games they put in these cabinets, with the provision that it doesn't mess something else up and that it makes sense. Even Paperboy. I don't care that Paperboy's on the Midway Legacy. It doesn't work. I'll never play it with the controls because they're not the right controls, but it doesn't impact any other game, so I'm fine with it. But when you're doing the Tempest and you're doing the Centipede cabinet, and there's such major changes that impact the overall Centipede experience, why am I buying a Centipede cabinet if it's not accurate? So I don't mean to, piss on anybody's cornflakes about this, but if you're excited, cool. It's a beautiful cabinet. And listen, the 12-in-1 plays fine. It's a great multi-cade experience. I just would love something more. Seth Lacey's a funny guy. Funny guy. Let's see if I can get the comment up here. For some medicine. I'll tell you a funny story now. I actually did have some cold decongestant medicine my wife was giving me Saturday when I was in the really height of the sickness. And anyways, we couldn't find it yesterday when I was looking for it. And what had happened was I had left it on the table and one of our cats knocked it over, so it landed on the heater. And now my wife told me that it's not safe because the bottle got heated up. So, yeah. I just got a shower. That's the worst part. So the shower is probably running everything down. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm all about as many games as you want to put on the cabinet, but not at the cost of the authenticity and the quality of the Marquis games experience. That should, every time Arcade1Up releases one of these cabinets, that should be the main focus point. How good is the Marquis game that we're putting out there? Everything else should be secondary after that. That's in my opinion. There it is. So anyways, that's the first topic. I don't want to stick on that one too long. Remember, the pre-orders for these go up on the 19th, directly on Arcade1Up. It's going to be only on Arcade1Up directly. If you have a favorite retail partner you'd rather shop with, I got a feeling, expect it to be a day, maybe two later, and you could probably go to those retailers. Same with us in Canada. Don't worry, you don't have to order directly from Arcade1Up Direct. We're going to get it, so wait for your retail partners to jump on it. Just let the art dictate the cab and controls. Thank you, Charlie Chuck. That's 100% the point I was trying to put across, and I hope that Arcade1Up pays heed to it, and that's what they do, because there's such an opportunity here. You guys are selling nostalgia. You guys are giving us an opportunity to take these machines down in their basement, and sure, you're going to get some people that are never going to give you guys kudos because they're arcade hardcores, whatever, but you guys do some awesome stuff. You're allowing us to do some awesome stuff. It's just, don't listen to too many people tell you that needs more games, blah, blah, blah. Focus on this. And even sometimes, if you got to put one game on a cabinet, say it's Q*bert, people will buy a Q*bert if it's only one game. The one thing I will say that I know, let me just clear this, I know that you're probably nervous about, you took the data point, excuse me, from Terminator 2, and you're probably saying, well, one game cabs don't sell. Terminator 2 is a different animal, dude. It's not the fact that it was one game. It's one game plus the fact that the guns aren't 100% accurate, and with the Sin and light guns and the little plastic guns, not everybody's 100% cool with that experience yet. It's not a one-for-one transition from the arcade to the home experience, so keep that in mind when you're looking at those stats. And maybe Seth Lacey says T2 sold well. Hopefully it did. Hey, P-Dubs, what's happening, brother? 19K Fox says, I've been guilty of asking for more than one game, and yet I bought T2. There's nothing wrong with more than one game. 19K Fox, you're not a Legends guy, so I played Alien vs. Predator the other night on my Legends Ultimate back there. I thought of you. Hey, Kessel's Arcade, what's happening, brother? Long time. We love T2. I love my T2 cabinet as well. I played with my daughter the other day. I don't know if I shared the experience with you guys, but I played with my daughter the other day, and just that experience, her shooting the gun, how excited she gets. She doesn't even aim it at the screen. She's aiming it at me half the time while we're playing. It's really been a fun addition to the arcade. I wanted a T2. Wasn't perfect, but it's the one we got, and it's still really fun. So, we want a T2. We got it. I don't know what the right word is. The cost was, it only came with one game. So, again, I'll go back to my main point. I would rather have one game done really well that's a marquee game, and I will pay good money for a recreation of an arcade. And it's okay to have multiple games as long as they don't mess up that original control. So my point with 19K Fox, because I got a little distracted there, was Alien vs. Predator. Yes, you can do Alien vs. Predator on a Capcom cab. You can do it on like a normal button cab, or you can do it on the fighting cab. It still works just as well. Punisher, Final Fight, all those games work so well. Even though you don't need the 2 or 3 button configurations, you can still do it on a fighting cabinet. There's lots of options where you can do it right. Just with stuff like playing Gorf on a Midway Legacy or something like that, it's not going to work. Do the right controls. What's happening, Moat? So, anyways, that was the main topic, but we have a lot more to discuss. And Moat, you're a good one to bring up. Moat made a video this week talking about, let me die for a second here. Talking about beta testing starting for NFL Blitz, for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and other things this week. Go check Moat out. Go check his video out and see what they're talking about there. But for all these people saying, is it real? When are we going to get it? If the beta testing has begun, according to those GameFly leaks that we've all been looking at for a while now, that would put them on pace to come out Q3 or Q4, October, when the release date is. That seems about right. So it's getting more real and real every day. And also for people that are part of the Mike of All Trades says he does have receipts for the video. So anyways, go check out Mike of All Trades video, guys. You can see for yourself that stuff is coming. But I want to actually go over one more to Mike of All Trades' buddy. UAG put out a video this past week. And give me a second, guys. I'm going to try to bring it up here. I'm not the fastest on this, but I'll see if I can do it. Anyways, UAG put a video out this past week talking about... oh my god, I can't put in UAG into YouTube. That's not going to give me anything. So anyways, he put a video out about Arcade1Up possibly coming out with an XL pinball. Now, I don't understand this. Like, I was trying to get my head around it. At first, I was looking at it and I was like, so is it the top of an XL cab attached to a pinball cab? I didn't see the original post, but let me get into it here. Yeah, so I've got the picture here now. Let me just bring it up on the second screen. So go into UAG's video. So I'll try to leave a link down in the description. So I got to remember to do it. I'll leave a link down in the description so you can check it out for yourself. As you can see here, there's a body of the side of a cabinet that looks an awful lot like the NBA Jam cabinet with the Attack from Mars looks like artwork. So the talk is there an XL pinball cabinet coming? Now, here's the messed up thing. That's not the body of an XL pinball cabinet. That's the body of what looks to be an XL cabinet. So they started talking about, is it possible we're going to have a vertical screen arcade cabinet? And for the life of me, I can't understand Why? Like, I'm mystified by this. Why would Arcade1Up think that's something people would spend money on from Arcade1Up? Right? So, allow me to explain myself. Now, if you're buying multi-cades, like I've got the Legends Ultimate Mini back there, and I've talked about it, and I'm like, you know what? What a cool form factor. If you can only get one machine and you're going to play pinball not on a pinball cabinet with the vertical screen upright, that's probably the best way to do it. So, of course, I look like a hypocrite saying if you get an XL cab that's a stand-up cab with a vertical monitor playing pinball on it, it doesn't work. Well, there's a very, very big difference between the two products. Arcade1Up is selling nostalgia and recreations of original machines and other ways to play, but I don't know anybody that wants to buy an XL cabinet that might be just the Williams games or the 12 Williams games, when if you call me a hypocrite for saying, well, why would you promote playing pinball on the Legends Ultimate Mini? The Legends Ultimate Mini is also a multi-cade. You can do so much other shit with it. You don't buy it to play pinball in vertical mode. That's an added benefit. Why would you buy a cabinet where you're playing pinball in vertical mode? I just don't get it. And I kind of understand. I guess Arcade1Up is looking at all their different form factors. They're looking at their licenses. And this is something that's probably never going to come to fruition. We'll never see in public. They're basically just saying, can we do it? Does it make sense? What's the experience like? Throwing shit at the wall to see what works. That's my guess. I haven't had a chance to watch all of Nick's video yet, but looking at it and trying to understand it, to me, that's not something I would want. I'd be fascinated to hear what you guys think in the chat. Like, is this something that anybody would want? Would somebody want a stand-up vertical arcade cabinet that plays pinball? Is this something that's interesting to you guys? I really I'm waiting to hear on this. And maybe people have been talking about it all week and you're done with it, but I'm fascinated with it. J Cut says, unless it's a multi-cade. Seth Lacey says, not for me. There's no nostalgia for a couchcade. Also, it's nostalgic for money. I don't know about that, Brady Goat. It's garbage, no. Donut says, I'm thinking they're considering a multi-cade. Zero Hero says, no stand-up. J Cut says, no vertical pinball. Charlie Chuck, Robotron, a vertical pinball nobody asked for. Book the vert pinball, Dan. Yeah, I don't want to go into details because you can't really, say much more based on like the screenshot we got there. And again, I just want to again say, everybody go check out UEG's video for more information. I mean, this is a 48-minute video, so he went into a lot more detail than I'm going to go. But based on the image and what he cut out and showed here, I mean, this is something in one of their offices that they're considering. I think it's really weird. I don't know a better way to say it. It's just a really weird idea, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, that's it on the vertical pinball. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. If it comes out, fine. I don't know if anybody will buy it. I certainly won't, and I have no interest in it. We're all waiting for pinball. We're all waiting for more pinball from Arcade1Up. We want to see what the next iteration is. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. But actually, my buddy, whoa. My buddy P-Dubs actually had a really neat idea about it, and it'll actually bring us to our next topic too. And here's the thing. Maybe pinball is going to come out again, but in a different form factor. Arcade1Up like to experiment. So, is there a possibility that instead of coming out with new pinball tables, they're going to revisit their original Arcade1Up pinball schematics in new form factors? Like, for example, could we see a head-to-head cocktail table that also has pinball in it, except you wouldn't have the DMD, or it'd be something else? Kessel's Arcade says, that picture in the video looks photoshopped to me. I wouldn't read too much into it. I can definitely see a Pinball Pro, higher res screen. Yeah, we all think that. We all want that. I mean, that's a whole different conversation, Paul 80. We would love to see Arcade1Up come out with a 32-inch screen, has at least 1080p resolution, also has online for leaderboards. Bam, they would definitely do it. So what the suggestion P-Dubs made is, maybe a head-to-head model could be their next iteration of pinball. Maybe you're going to be playing pinball on a head-to-head table, or maybe you're going to be playing pinball on what the hell is it called? P-Dub says there's no information to get hyped about with this controlled leak. We got to pick a half cabinet. It's the same 24-inch screen, same PCB, same 10 games. Why buy this over the 3/4 pinball? I don't know P-Dubs, and I don't know that either. I mean, we just got a picture now. It's something that's probably in an office to see, and if it is a controlled leak, it's to see if there would be any interest for it, because maybe some people in the company really like it, but they're like, we might like it, but I don't know if the community would buy it, and they wanted to put the information out there, and if they're listening, yeah, it's a shitty idea. Don't put it out. Anyways, so P-Dubs, what I'm talking about now is what we talked about. Is there a possibility that, pinball could come out in a different form factor, whether it's probably not going to be the XL cabinet, but maybe it'll come out in a head-to-head table, or maybe yet a pub table. Now, why I'm talking about pub tables specifically is I am pretty amped up. I actually missed something, but I wanted to share this with you guys again. So this past 2 weeks, I announced a sale, and at the Brick, the Pong pub table was going up for sale, $300 off. It was going to be on for $499.99, down from $800 Canadian. And I think the Pong pub table, it's either on sale or it was on sale in the US either this week or last week. I'm not sure, but I've gotten more and more interested in the Pong pub table as time gone on. Especially, I like the design. I need a pub table for my arcade, so I'm really interested in picking this up and adding this to my arcade. If it goes back down in price, I have a feeling it might eventually go back down in price. What happened, why I never picked it up last time, is that it went up for sale and I went to grab it and it showed up that it was sold out in my area. So even though it was still available on the Bricks website and was available through other distribution centers, it unfortunately wasn't available at the distribution center closest to my location, so I couldn't place an order. So I had to sit through the sale, look at all the people thanking me, saying, "Oh, Mike, thanks for telling me about the sale. I just got my Pong pub table." And I was like, "Yeah, you're welcome. I can't get mine." Anyways, I'm hoping that there's a possibility this might go on sale again and it becomes available in my area again. I'm probably going to pick one up. I need a pub table for my home arcade. Now, I've been talking about this with my friends. I talked about this with 19K Fox, and I talked about this with Steven Nostalgia. And what we talked about was the pub table is cool. It's a cool idea. It's got a cool form factor. But what they said was they're waiting for new ideas coming out here. Oh, Mike of all trades, thank you so much, brother. Let me get over here. Bring up your comment, brother. That table is on sale at RC Wiley's here in the States. At least it was yesterday for $2.99, but I don't know if it still is. Thank you very much, Mike of all trades. I'm going to tell you, I've been watching Arcade1Up videos about the Pong pub table for about a week straight now. I've watched everybody's. Bill's Retro Gaming. I watched your Gaming Techies there the other day. I'm watching all the Alan Nation. No offense, brother. Thank you so much. Alan wrote me and he was like, "Hey, thanks, Mike. I got my Pong pub table." No offense to you, brother. I'm just a little jealous that I never got my own. What is this? Don't know if I can downgrade during the Pong from GTA 5 to Pong. Yeah, that's true. Anyways, I know Pong's a hard one, which is another thing we're going to talk about in a minute. But for the Pong pub table, I'm interested in it. I think it looks good. But what we started talking about, 19K Fox, myself in the chat that we're in, and what we talked about with Steven Nostalgia was involved too, was love the concept and the form factor of the pub table. If it wasn't a good seller, maybe it was because it's Pong. And the comment comes up here. Where is it? Where was the comment? I can't remember. It's gone there now. But the comment was, it's a downgrade to Pong. Pong is, such an important game and such a cool game. Bill's Retro Gaming Show, there it is. Bill's Retro Gaming Show is another person I watch for the Pong Pub Table review. If you're looking for a review of it, go check out his as well. Seth Lacey, Get Pong, I love mine. I was worried about no protection on top, but it's held up great. Warlords is my most played game. Thank you so much, Seth Lacey. So, with Seth, I appreciate that. I'm really interested. If I can get it on sale, I'm definitely going to get it. But going back to the comment, the form factor is what's really exciting to some people. They don't love Pong. They think Pong is kind of not in their alleyway. They just don't have any interest. The games list doesn't interest them, but they would love to see this cabinet come out with a different game. I don't know if they're going to bring back this form factor. I don't know if it was successful enough, and I don't know if Arcade1Up are going to hold Pong accountable for it or the pub table design itself, because, it doesn't emulate an arcade. They're not selling nostalgia, so it's kind of off their base, but I think it was a really cool idea. So we talked about it, what would be a good fit. I don't know if modern games would be a good fit. Like, I can't see them doing a head-to-head Street Fighter, a head-to-head Mortal Kombat, but who knows? Stranger things have happened, so they could possibly do that. But what I can possibly see is them doing, of course, Pac-Man. Pac-Man's already a vertical game. It's only a matter of taking the PCB out of one of those head-to-head tables, sticking it in the Pong pub table, and away you go. So I'm interested to see if they ever do another pub table. I'm happy with Pong, but I do think there might be an appetite for another pub table down the road, maybe just with a different games list. You can let me know in the chat, guys. What do you think? Do you think a different pub table would be more successful? Paul 80 says an Arkanoid pub table. I don't think we've seen Arkanoid on a single Arcade1Up cabinet yet, have we? Sorry, I'm still with the congestion, guys. I haven't made any videos. I've been so sick. I'm so sorry. Alan Dejanay says, Alan, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying this right. Honestly, my 10-year-old mostly ignores my arcade except for pinball and driving, but he's been on the Pong pub table every day since I got it. Yeah, you think about Pong, what it is. It's almost like air hockey. Like, it's weird. It's a mix of table tennis, air hockey. It's so simple, but yet it's such a good experience. Warlords as well is fantastic. Apparently the spinners, everything works really well on it. I'm really interested in this. I need a pub table. I've convinced myself I need this. P-Dub's Arcade Loft. He's got the Pong head-to-head table. He really likes it as well. Charlie Chuck says he'd 100% buy a pub table with better games. Ooh, Tapper pub table. Tapper is definitely... I'm probably going to do this video at some point, but... I would love to see a Tapper dedicated cabinet. I don't know if it'd be a popular enough game, but like, if you've never ever seen the actual Tapper arcade cabinet, just look it up. It's gorgeous. It's such a showpiece for classic 80s arcade collectors. Love to see it. Hey, Chris A, we need an ice cold beer cab. Ice cold beer is it's this, like, I don't know what it's called. It's like a coin slot game. It's super cool. Kessel's Arcade says, not a fan of the pub table, could be tempted with different artwork. Concept is cool, just looks bad in my opinion. It's interesting. I actually really like the look of it. It's, for me, that orange, the transition from orange to yellow, the black, screams like 70s, early 80s to me, but I understand it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Third Floor Arcade with Jason also has the pub table. He's done a review on it. So many good out there. I've watched so much this past week. I've completely convinced myself I need this. Warlords make it happen. Tapper is beautiful, Danzy. Anyways, guys, so that was the big one we talked about. Could the pub table make a comeback with Arcade1Up? Will they make another one? And if they do, will they in fact change the game up? Could it possibly happen? Man, this is horrible. I stepped on a bee. So, moving on from that, one thing I do want to talk about is I was pretty adamant when, let me just go over here, screen share again. So, I was pretty adamant when the Pong pub table was first announced. I said, I don't get why they didn't do this in the 3/4 scale, right? So you look at it, Pong pub table, I was like, it's not going to sell well. And like, I even talked to retailers here and they were like, what do you think, Mike? Should we bring a bunch of them in? And I'm like, I can't see it. I put a post up in our Arcade1Up Canadian fan page saying, would you guys buy a Pong cabinet? Like, honestly, there just doesn't seem to be this crazy amount of interest in Pong, despite it being this classic, really, really super important arcade game. So it's weird. It's disappointing from a history standpoint, but I get it. And even, like, if they did a 3/4 scale cabinet, I mean, it's not going to look pretty. I'm going to pop myself out here. Well, I should have had this ready, guys. This is just another sign of me not being ready for the show, but it's not your first time watching. I'm sure you're used to it. So yeah, like, I mean, if you look at images of, like, what the Pong arcade cabinet looks like, I'll bring it up again here. I mean, can you imagine Arcade1Up did a 3/4 version of this? Like, how terrible does that look like? What a shit show. I mean, there's no way they can make that look good. It's just, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they could do to make it better. I think they saw Pong and they said, there's no way we can release this in the 3/4 scale. Screw it. Let's make a pub table. Pong table was the way to release it. Needs a waterproof, heavier duty top. And I think, Scarpad, you're talking about the Pong pub table. Yeah. P-Dub's Arcade Loft. There he is with this comment. Let me bring it up here, guys. I think everybody agrees. Love the form factor of the pub table. Just don't want to spend $500+ on Pong. So if Pong indeed did, if Arcade1Up did indeed come out with another pub table, and they put a more interesting game on it, there's a possibility it will sell. Maybe Pong was the problem. I don't know. I love the 80s design. I love the 80s design too, Seth Lacey, 100%. So anyways, moving on to our next topic. So I'm going to bring this guy up. I don't talk about him much on my channel. We're actually not friends. But I wanted to bring this up. Give me a second here, guys. One second. Man, I am so not prepared tonight. It's probably due to the sickness. So, anyways, guys, you might have watched this earlier. The Rexer show, I think this was last night, did a video last night, and talked about this epic discovery. And Rex is in this community. He's an home arcade. I don't know what the right term is. He doesn't really like the Arcade1Up cabinets. He's not a big fan of the home arcade. He prefers the real arcade stuff. And he has very high expectations for what Arcade1Up puts out. He's not very high in the company and their products. Anyways, he got involved in this whole monitor grade debate last night where he did a video, and it turns out the monitors that we thought were the exact same between iArcade and the Arcade1Up XL Golden Tee cabinet are in fact different. So I don't want to drag up like all this drama, but like here again is the whole situation of what happened. So the cabinet came out. People that we're friends with and from Super Game Room Dudes, P-Dubs bought a Golden Tee, plus his friends got one. Justin Console Kits got a Golden Tee, and 19K Fox got a Golden Tee cabinet. So the early impressions that they gave me and the early impressions they talked about was the monitor's not very good. There's issues with washout and the screen getting dark at certain angles, and it was very disappointing. So much so, Justin actually, if I'm not mistaken, sold his cabinet, and also, I'll put myself back on here now. 19K Fox, I know he's not very big. He just did a room tour, and he showed the discoloration when he moves down, and P-Dubs has talked about it as well. But I never said too much because I wanted to experience it for myself. Anyways, those opinions came out, and we were all pretty hard on the Arcade1Up Golden Tee screen. And the truth is, listen, guys, I'm the biggest Arcade1Up fan in the world. I love Arcade1Up. I want their stuff to be good. And when there's not something good, I feel obligated to provide constructive feedback because I do want more XL cabs to come out. Hell, I want them to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles XL cab at some point. It's just I hope the screen is a little bit better, whatever they need to do to optimize it to get it to work. So anyways, then we got the other show, the weekly retro party that go on Wednesday. They did a show, and they were like, I don't know what they're talking about. Screen's not that bad. That was their stance. Now, I don't know if any of those guys have had an opportunity to review it or play it. I can't say that, but going off the information they hit, that was their point of view. So we go back. And I guess at one point, someone on that show said, and it might have been UAG, that it's the same monitor that's in the iArcade. Wherever he got that information, I don't know. So what had happened, we had already taken, not me, but P-Dubs and a couple other people had already taken a look at the back of the cabinets. And the back of the casing on one says Lightstar on the Golden T cabinet, while the backing of the iArcade doesn't. It turns out that P-Dubs came back and said it's not the same monitor. I said, well, it could be, monitors are different. Anyways, the casing came off, and they found out that it did have the exact same serial number. So that came out, and P-Dubs kind of did a retraction. He said, it is the same monitor, it must be the angle and stuff. Anyways, this turned into a massive brawl between people. People were accusing each other of saying stuff. I'm not going to drag it all up because it's all in the past now, but I do want to say it's just nuts, man. Like, these are video games. What are we fighting with each other for? It's video games. Let's just enjoy the video games. So, anyways, Rex did his video yesterday and said that even though the serial number is mostly right, and this was P-Dubs and Justin Console Kits that researched this and found out it was the same monitor, they had missed that the first digit on each monitor was different. And you'll see this sometimes, like if you buy TVs at Costco and then a TV at Best Buy, they might have the exact same serial numbers, except there's some letters in the beginning and one of the TVs is better or not. I don't know. Still might be the same monitor. I don't friggin' know. But anyways, everybody's got their mind blown up about this. Here's my stance on it. Guys, I did a video. I was right next to two of the cabinets. The iArcade screen, for whatever reason, looks better than the one in the Golden Tee. I don't know why. It just does. It's a better screen. It's better angled or whatever the hell it is, optimized. It just looks better. I hope Arcade1Up can fix it so it looks as good as the iArcade screen because I want them to be successful. Now, going back to the other stuff, I talked to both UAG and P-Dubs about this, and I know UAG was upset because what P-Dubs said was, what someone else said, and here's the thing, like P-Dubs wrote me the next morning and was like, I don't know what he's talking about. He wrote me, he's mad. So I wrote UAG and I said, hey man, did we do something to offend you? I'm confused. And he told me, no, it's P-Dubs' comment about the screen. So anyways, we went back and forth and I was hoping that it would reconcile differently. They blew up. Whatever. At the end of the day, it sucks that we're doing this, guys. We should all get along. You don't have to like everybody. No one has to like everybody. It's just, let's try to be a little bit better. I talked to P-Dubs again and I said, listen, P-Dubs, I know you probably weren't trying to insinuate that it was him, but your wording may have come across that way. Maybe watch what you're doing in the future. He said, I'll do it. And I talked to Nick too, and Nick was pretty good about it. You guys saw him talk on the weekly retro party about it. He came across pretty well. He said, listen, I'm just going to do my thing. At the end of the day, we can't be getting upset about such silly things. I mean, the guys on the weekly retro party, the week before that, where they're calling us out about who can be first on videos by name and like trying to insinuate things about us. So I don't know why they're getting mad about someone trying to insinuate something like that. All foolishness. Anyways, the point of my story is the iArcade monitor looks better in person, and everybody should just focus on video games and less about personalities and egos and all that stuff. Everybody love each other. It's just also ridiculous. Like, I watch everybody. I like everybody. I just never get when people don't get along. Even if you don't get along, you just do what you can. Yeah, WrestleFest Battle Royal to the winner. There you go. Anyways, that's the point of it. I know people are really concerned about the screen. I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to bury Arcade1Up. I just hope that they're taking some of this feedback and they know they can't put more of these cabinets out on the street looking like they do. They need to take some of the feedback and figure out what they did wrong. Maybe even talk to iArcade. If the monitors are close enough, maybe iArcade can work with them and help them figure out a way to optimize the monitor so it looks as good as it does on the iArcade at least. And then there's some people are saying they don't like the iArcade monitors. There we go. I don't know. Stephen B says it's games. There you can go. Well, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna state anything like that. Listen, that's between them all. All I'm saying is everybody needs to just relax a little bit. I'm gonna stay out of it after that. I was in the middle of it. The monitor, like I said, looks better on the iArcade in person. There you go. Yeesh. Yeesh. Anyways. Oh, where is he? Let me bring this up here. My buddy, Garage Gamer, on Instagram. There it is. 19K Fox knows. We're grown men talking about toys. Life's not that bad. I actually say this all the time. Like, I'll be there playing, what am I playing now? I'm playing Forza Horizon 4, and I'm just looking at how good it looks on my screen and, like, how much fun it is, and I'm like, life's pretty good, man. I was in my arcade last night, I said the same thing. Life's pretty good. Hobby Hand says, on a lighter note, I want to know if anyone got the clearance deals that started at Walmart today. I got the Midway 12-in-1, $100, mainly for tubing and joust. Thank you very much for the super chat, but I didn't know about these. Someone had put something in Justin's somebody had put something in Justin's show last night, which I got to watch live for once, and I had seen that there was going to be some sales, but I didn't know if anything had actually gone down. Of course, that is the Midway Legacy without the riser and the lit up marquee, right? Garage Gamer, who's also on YouTube now. Anyways, let me bring up my comment from my buddy Garage Gamer here. I missed him. The honest review from a real gamer. Eyes roll. Yeah, I don't know, Garage Gamer. I don't think you're in our Super Game Room Dudes after show, but we were talking about it there. Honestly, those are red flags. If you watch somebody and they need to put in their review, honest review or real gamer or something like that, those are red flags. That person's doing stupid stuff. Console kits. There he goes. Monitor gate is like the laces were in, they were in. Exactly. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, these are people going off like whims, what we saw. None of us are CNN or Fox News or anything like that. Everybody needs to take this stuff so serious, like less seriously, and just have fun with it. My goal every week when I go on Super Game Room Dudes is to have as much fun as humanly possible. I like to have fun with my buddy Nostalgia. We go back and forth with each other. I'm doing this for fun, man. I wish people took it more fun. I wish people weren't so concerned about their spot, egos, stuff like that. And this is all too much behind-the-scenes drama and stuff like that. But, like, again, we're here talking about games we enjoy and sharing that passion. So let's do that. Oh, man, I'm so sick too, guys. It's been a rough week. I want the new map there's a new map coming out for Horizon 5. Like, Garage Gamer, I cannot tell you how addicted I've got on Horizon. So I played Horizon 5 when it first came out on my Xbox Series X and just fell in love with it. I recently upgraded my computer screen. I got a 32-inch, it's not a 4K, 32-inch LG Ultra Gear 2440p, and it's also got like 165 hertz, so like a beautiful screen. And I wanted to play something that was really nice looking. It's the first real game I played on it. So of course I went back and played Horizon 4, and man, they're all so good, so pretty. Like, what an experience. So yeah, love Horizon. Quickly, next to Mario Kart has become my favorite racing experience. We got a massive super chat here. Massive. I just need to find it because I don't know where it's gone. There it is. Alan, my buddy Alan. My time is worth a lot to me. I endorse transparency, good or bad feedback on all arcade products, but mainly Canadian YouTubers, except for Nostalgia. He's shady. Thank you so much for the giant super chat, man. And Nostalgia is shady as if. Like, he just won't tell you what he does for a living. He's so weird. It's nuts. Worst Jago, what's happening, brother? Mike of all trades, isn't that why I'll do it? Because it's fun. I could be wrong, but it's sitting the crap about games and tech. Yeah, literally, that's all we're doing, man. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I don't follow everybody in the community, but like, if someone does something I like, I have no problem talking about it. I'm not going to get on too much of a pedestal. It's just, let's all be cool, enjoy what we enjoy, and the one thing I will say is, sometimes you got to be careful, man. Like, you might be having a bad day and you might say something shitty about somebody or just an off the cuff remark, and they might never respond. You might think it not matters, but down the road, like, that's the difference between people working with other people. Like, I like to think that I'm welcome going places because I try to do the best I can to be awesome to everybody, and I hope everybody tries to do the same. Anyways, off my pedestal. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Nostalgia tells me everything. Him and ETA Prime are buds. Yeah, there it is. I jokingly call Nostalgia BETA Prime, Beta Prime, but like, guys, I've talked about this a bunch. I love Nostalgia. He's like such a good dude, such a good person. I do like to give him the business because he is kind of like closed off about his personal life. Like, doesn't like to share details. And I just find that so strange that someone can't tell you where they work. And I know on the show this past week, I was giving P-Dubs a hard time saying, oh, everybody copies P-Dubs and stuff like that. But, you know, sometimes people get in their feelings and they think like, oh, well, Michael B., how come your back of your room looks the same as mine? And I'm like, dude, we're talking about arcades. I have arcades behind me. What should I put there? Should I have like different lawn care equipment and be like, well, I got lawn care equipment. I don't want to copy anybody else. Dude, why am I breaking character? Because that's my character, Justin. I'm me. That's a really good question, Garage Gamer. And yeah, maybe if Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is real and all signs are pointing to yes, yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense to unveil it there. It would be a huge deal because game's also been in limbo forever. So yeah, if they're going to do it, that would be a huge announcement. Anyways, guys, that's right. I call for peace. I call for love. And whatever the hell else. Anyways, guys, I am literally dying because of this cold. And I got a newborn. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. I hope you guys have enjoyed the new tricks I'm trying to do. And by tricks, I mean copying other people. So hopefully I'm making this a little bit more presentable, a little more enjoyable. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me all the time. I do this because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to you guys, and I enjoy talking about this stupid hobby. What is my favorite game? Oh, my God. What do you mean, what is my favorite game? What is my favorite arcade game, or what is my favorite game? If it's my favorite game, it still is, and always will be, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. But if it's my favorite Arcade1Up cabinet, it still is Star Wars. Garage Gamer, no, man, you're the best. Hey, Mike Hawkhurts, what's happening, brother? Yeah, guys, I am so sorry about all the drainage and the stuff that I was like, yeah, I am totally good to do the show, and I got really choked up before I started, so sorry about that, but otherwise, thank you so much. Yeah, Mike of all trades, I got a bunch of extra ones, I'll send them out to you, and Mike of all trades, let me know when you're going to do that bikini. I'm ready, brother. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. This has been Chill and Chat with Michael B.